Have you ever felt like a pawn in someone else's game? Experienced moments where your emotions were manipulated, your choices swayed, and your life seemed steered by forces beyond you? If so, it's time to hear the wisdom Marcus Aurelius, the greatest philosopher, emperor of ancient Rome, lived and left behind. He wasn't just a ruler of an empire, but a master of inner wisdom, unshakable calm amid chaos, and living proof of the invincible power of a disciplined mind. In today's world, intelligence alone isn't enough. You need to become dangerous in the way Marcus Aurelius was. Dangerous because you're not easily manipulated, offended, or swept by the crowd. You become someone others can't control through emotions, fear, or words. Someone whose quiet strength and poise command respect when you enter a room. Someone whose words linger, striking through the world's illusions. Prepare yourself because in this video, we'll dive into 10 practical principles from Marcus Aurelius's philosophy. Principles that won't just make you wiser, but will make you dangerous in a way the modern world can't fathom. If you're ready to explore the terrain of minds forged like steel, hit subscribe now to join this awakening journey. Number 1. Build the inner citadel. Fortify your mind. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "A man's fortress is within himself. True strength needs no external walls. The most impregnable stronghold is your inner self. In battle, stone fortresses can fall, but a resolute mind cannot be conquered." This is the first lesson to etch into your soul. Build your inner citadel, a sanctuary no one can breach, where you alone reign supreme. Modern society erodes our mental control with ease. News floods like a deluge. Clashing opinions, judgments, and the fear of being left behind pierce our soul's defenses like tiny arrows. Without an inner citadel, we react like machines, angry at criticism, panicked by trouble, envious of others' success, despairing when things slip beyond reach. But those with a fortified mind stand firm amid the storm, silently observing, not cold but trained to shield their inner peace from external chaos. They know it's not events that cause suffering, but how we think about them. Building this citadel isn't easy or done in a day. It starts with returning to yourself daily. Before reading news, ask, "Is this worth my attention?" Before reacting to an insult, pause. Will this response improve me? Before a negative emotion drives action, probe it with reason. Is this feeling real or just reflex? This way, you don't just observe your mind, you master it. Marcus said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Grasp this, and the world ceases to threaten. It's merely a stage. You're the actor choosing your role, response, and how to step into the light. That's why you need daily time to reinforce your mental fortress. Sit in silence, journal, reflect on your day's actions and emotions. These are the bricks of your inner walls. Each time you quell anger without erupting, you strengthen the foundation. Each time you sidestep drama or worldly noise, you add a stone to the ramparts. Over time, you become unshakable by storms. Your inner citadel is also your refuge when the world turns its back. In failure, misunderstanding, or when there's no place left for you, this is the one space where you're never displaced. The weak seek validation from crowds. Those with an inner fortress find it in their reason and principles. Marcus, an emperor, wrote no boasts in his journal, only introspections, self-reminders to live with virtue, patience, and calm. He knew fame is fleeting, power temporary, but the mind is yours forever. In today's noisy age, those who stay silent, live quietly, self-reflect, and stand firm in turmoil are the most dangerous. They're not easily swayed, emotionally triggered, or controlled. They're invisible warriors, moving through life without fanfare. yet each step commands respect. That can be you, if you start today building a citadel no one can breach. If this lesson stirs something in you, take a second to like the video. It deepens your resolve and spreads this wisdom further. Share it with someone needing an inner fortress to weather their storms. Comment below with your thoughts, experiences, or tools for forging your mind. Our community isn't just for learning, but a shared stronghold for evolving minds. Subscribe to continue this journey to become dangerously wise with each upcoming lesson. Number 2, train your mind like a warrior. Seek knowledge aggressively. If you think a warrior needs only physical strength, you're mistaken. A true warrior forges their mind before wielding a sword. Marcus Aurelius wasn't a king merely issuing decrees from a throne. He was a warrior of wisdom, an emperor ruling Rome while confronting himself daily. When he wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." He wasn't just addressing battlefield foes, but inner enemies. Ignorance, a lazy mind, self-imposed limits. To conquer them, you must train your mind like a warrior hones a blade, relentlessly, uncompromisingly, always advancing. A sharp intellect isn't luck, it's discipline. Picture your brain as a muscle. Neglected, it weakens, slows, reacting emotionally rather than rationally. Trained rightly, it becomes your mightiest weapon. That's why true warriors, generals, CEOs, Zen masters share a trait. They treat learning as combat, never sleeping without grasping something new. Start small. Each day, learn one thing you didn't know, a passage from an ancient text, a philosophical concept, a question you've never pondered. Treat it as mental calisthenics. Learning forces your mind to work, question, connect ideas, pushing your cognitive boundaries. You don't need to devour libraries, just a bit daily with a warrior spirit, steadfast, profound, never settling for shallowness. A wise person never grows smug with their knowledge. Instead, they act as if they know nothing. Marcus reminded himself, "If someone can prove me wrong and show me my mistake, I will gladly change my mind." This is an evolving mind, ready to shed ego for truth. Don't learn to argue or outshine others. Learn to understand, apply, grow deeper, humbler. A warrior doesn't swing a sword to fell others, but to defend their ideals. Don't confine learning to classrooms or degrees. Knowledge is everywhere. In deep conversations, your failures, a stranger's offhand remark. Train yourself to hunt truth, asking of every event, "What can I learn here?" A mishap. Learn about limits and uncertainty. A rejection. Learn patience and resilience. Someone's success. Learn their discipline and strategy. Nothing is meaningless if your mind is rightly aimed. Consistency is key. The mind is a flame. Without constant fuel, it fades. Set a rule. Dedicate at least 30 minutes daily to mental training. Read, journal, learn a skill, analyze a failure, or sit quietly questioning life. Small, steady acts forge an invincible intellect. You must also filter knowledge. Not every read is trustworthy, not every voice wise. A mental warrior discerns what's a knowledge versus noise, what evolves you versus what clouds your mind. Listen deeply, read slowly, retain profoundly, apply practically. Unused knowledge is baggage. Only in action does it become a razor-sharp tool. You can't train alone forever. Wise warriors seek comrades, sharp minds, truth-seeking souls. Join learning communities, converse with those who make you think, debate with differing views. A candid dialogue can teach more than a thick book. Crave intellectual challenge. Don't dodge it. Never stop advancing. A warrior never deems themselves strong enough. Intellect has no final limit. The more you learn, the smaller you feel. A good sign. It shows you're on the right path. Hold that mindset, and you'll near a strength the world can't gauge with wealth, status, or praise. If this sparks your hunger to learn, like the video to signal you're on this journey. Share it with a friend who ponders life's big questions, always digging for truth. Comment with a book, lesson, or experience that sharpened your mind. Our community isn't just smart, but dangerous for learning the right things, the right way, at the right time. Subscribe to continue the path of a mental warrior, never settling for mediocrity. Number 3, master listening and silent observation. Hear beyond words. In a deafeningly noisy world, those who listen become dangerous. When everyone scrambles to speak, shout louder, or hastily prove themselves, the one who chooses silence and observation wields true power. Marcus Aurelius wasn't a ceaseless talker. He wrote, listened, reflected, and observed the world like a sage seeking its deepest workings. He wrote, "Learn to be indifferent to what makes no difference. To do this, you must observe keenly, listen deeply, and resist reacting to everything." Listening is the art of the wise. Silent observation is the weapon of the self-mastered. When you truly listen, you hear not just words, but what's hidden. You catch emotions in tone, fears behind laughter, insecurities in boasts. A skilled listener doesn't just understand others better, they control the situation by staying above surface noise. Remarkably, people trust, admire, and respect listeners more than talkers. In quiet observation, others reveal their true selves. Only by seeing beyond facades can you decide accurately, speak timely, and act precisely. Listening isn't innate, it's forged through practice. Start by staying silent longer in conversations. Instead of preparing replies, notice their eyes, tone, breathing. Focus entirely on them, as if learning something vital. Resist the urge to interrupt, impress, or rebut. Let them finish. Then reflect, empathize, and if needed, respond briefly but weightily. The more you listen, the more you learn what others don't mean to reveal. Listen not only to others, but to yourself. Silence lets your inner voice resound. In stillness, you hear your ego, fears, desires, wounds, things noise obscures. Marcus journaled nightly, a profound act of self-listening. He asked, "How did I live today? Was my anger justified? Did I stray from my ideals?" Self-questioning is the mark of wisdom, born from quiet inner listening. Silent observation is another art to hone for supreme intelligence. Picture yourself in a crowded room, the hasty dive into chatter, networking, impressing. The observer stands apart, watching how people interact, move, avoid eye contact. They note details, trembling hands, repeated phrases, fleeting glances, building a mental map before acting. When they speak or move, they never miss the mark. Sharp observers spot opportunities and risks others overlook. By noting the small, you see trends, read undercurrents. A displeased glance in a meeting hints at internal conflict. A partner's offhand remark suggests shifting plans. A lover's subtle behavior shift flags emotional cracks. Non-observers miss these. Observers act before it's too late. Combine deep listening with silent observation, and you become truly dangerous. You understand the world at depths most can't see. You shed impulsive reactions, needless chatter to fill voids. You act less but with precision. You become the one whose opinion others crave, seeing what they never considered. True wisdom isn't in speaking most, but knowing when to stay silent and when to speak so others hush to hear. If you rush to speak, get swept by emotions, or miss subtle cues, now's the time to train the art of listening and observing. Spend at least 5 minutes daily in silence. observing your surroundings without judgment. Hear distant sounds, your breath, your current emotions. This builds the foundation for razor-sharp wisdom without a word uttered. If this resonates, show support with a like. Share this video with a friend who reacts hastily or is swayed by emotions. They may need a reminder of silence's power. Comment: when did you last learn something profound by staying silent or observing deeply? Our community isn't for the loud, but for wise souls learning to hear the world's whispers. Subscribe to continue mastering listening, not just to words, but to meaning. Number 4, read, learn, absorb everything. Embrace broad knowledge. Marcus Aurelius said, "The mind adapts and converts to its own purposes the obstacle to our acting. The impediment to action advances action. But for your mind to adapt, transform, and overcome obstacles, it must be nourished with knowledge. No steadfast mind is built on intellectual laziness. No mental strength endures without a foundation of broad understanding. The path to supreme intelligence, even dangerous thinking, is to read, learn, and absorb everything you can. Not to flaunt erudition, but to craft a rich inner map, guiding you through life's chaos. Start anywhere: a history book, an ancient philosophy passage, a science article, a conversation with someone whose experiences differ. Keep questioning, seeking, receiving. Marcus's brilliance stemmed from never assuming he knew enough. In meditations, he thanked teachers, friends, even those who heard him, for each offered a lesson. This is absolute learning, no complacency, no confinement. To wield his profound intellect, carry this spirit daily. Reading isn't just consuming information, it's a silent dialogue with history's greatest minds. Epictetus, a freed slave, teaches you to master emotions. Seneca, a powerful statesman, guides you to let go. Marcus, an emperor, reveals his own insecurities. These truths don't live in social media, short clips, or crowd chatter. They reside in pages where you pause, reflect, and face yourself. Learning isn't mere knowledge accumulation, it's expanding perspective. Reading widely frees you from a single lens. You grasp why people fear, choose differently, or hold opposing beliefs. This depth reduces judgment, fosters empathy. The wisest aren't those who know the most, but those who see from multiple angles. Learning from every culture, every experience, builds a supple, sharp mind no one can manipulate. Absorbing knowledge is like amassing a mental arsenal. Each book is a sword, each lesson a shield, each dialogue an arrow. The more you learn, the richer your armory. When life hurls challenges, loss, betrayal, adversity, you don't crumble. You have strategies, insights, methods to prevail. Learning prepares you for the unforeseen, the smartest way to live. Don't wait for waves to learn to swim. A caveat: learning isn't cramming. It's not racing through 100 books a year, retaining nothing. It's selecting, pondering, applying. One book reread thrice and acted upon transforms you more than 10 skim for bragging rights. Learn like a warrior, sharpening weapons for life's greatest battle, understanding yourself and standing firm against external forces. Learn as if your life depends on it, because it does. Never think learning ends with school. To stop learning is to regress. The world evolves ceaselessly. Without new knowledge, you'll be outpaced, even manipulated by sharper minds. The most dangerous person isn't the wealthiest, but the one whose intellect steers the current. You can't be that person with outdated understanding. Learn daily, bit by bit. 10 pages a day is 3,650 pages a year, enough to outstrip the crowd. If you're serious about upgrading your mind, schedule reading like exercise. Make it non-negotiable. Learn from others too. Join book clubs, discuss, debate, Share views. Shared knowledge deepens. Dialogue hones independent thinking, essential for true intelligence. If a book ever changed your life, share its title in the comments. Your lesson might be someone's lifeline. If this ignites your learning spirit, like the video to show you're with us. To keep becoming your wisest self, subscribe now. Don't let laziness rob your intellect. Number 5, the language of influence. Wield words strategically. Marcus Aurelius, emperor, thinker, and master of words, wielded language to steer emotions, shape thoughts, and lead hearts. Words aren't mere communication. They're a potent weapon to guide minds, shift perceptions, and inspire. To become dangerously intelligent, you must master the art of using words strategically. Those who change the world don't just act well, they speak at the right time, in the right way, to the right people. From ancient Greece to today, great leaders grasp words' power. Pericles silenced Athens with oratory. Martin Luther King moved a nation with, "I have a dream." Marcus, though not the flashiest orator, used words and meditations to dialogue with himself, crafting a spiritual map that echoes still. Words don't just convey, they lead. A skilled speaker captivates briefly. A strategic wordsmith sows influence for years. Words can heal or cut like a blade. Chosen rightly, they don't just grab attention, they touch deep emotions. A sincere, timely phrase can soothe lifelong pain. An encouraging word can lift a fallen spirit. Conversely, toxic words shatter trust, crush morale. The wise never underestimate their words' weight, honing them like a swordsman sharpens a blade. Carefully, intentionally, never carelessly. Words also build your societal influence. Whether entrepreneur, creator, teacher, or student, clear, concise, compelling expression shapes how others see you. True intelligence isn't knowing the most. It's simplifying the complex with passion. Notice Marcus's meditations. No florid metaphors, just short, potent sentences brimming with logic and philosophical depth. He didn't write to impress, but to guide himself and others. That's the model. Mastering words doesn't come from reading rhetoric books, but from daily practice. Listening to what others say and leave unsaid, rephrasing ideas more concisely, asking questions aptly. A great questioner seems profoundly insightful. Kind, thoughtful responses build trust. Knowing when to stay silent shows immense inner strength. Words paired with self-control become an unrivaled tool of a dangerous mind. In the digital age, where everyone speaks but few speak well, deep communication sets you apart. A single post can shift thousands' thoughts. An email can sway decisions. A speech can ignite a generation. This isn't innate talent. It's honed through reading, analyzing, and refining daily. The intelligent don't just learn to speak, they learn to touch hearts. But influence isn't manipulation. Marcus stressed truth and integrity in speech. He never used words to deceive or control. Instead, he illuminated truth, sparked virtue, and urged himself to live better. If you wield words strategically, lift others up, don't pull them down. Make your speech a light, sometimes soft as a candle, sometimes blazing as lightning, always purposeful. Start practicing today. Journal nightly to sharpen inner expression. Rewrite a philosophical idea in modern terms to simplify complexity. Record your voice to study tone, pacing, emphasis. Above all, speak truth courageously, however hard. Honest words forged in deep thought mark a mind far beyond the crowd. If a quote, passage, or video ever shifted your perspective, share it in the comments. Your spark might ignite another's mind. If this elevates your thinking and communication, like the video to fuel us. Subscribe to keep forging a dangerously wise mind with each video. Number 6, build the network of the mind. Connect with wisdom. You may have a razor-sharp brain, ironclad logic, and a phenomenal memory. But isolating yourself from other sources of wisdom is like drifting alone in a vast ocean of knowledge without a compass. Marcus Aurelius, emperor of an empire, humbly acknowledged that his growth stemmed not only from personal reflection, but from teachers, books, and even ordinary citizens around him. He understood, wisdom doesn't thrive in isolation, but in connection, with great ideas, profound souls, and challenging dialogues. Building a network of the mind transcends mere socializing or networking. It's the deliberate act of linking your intellect to other great minds, living or long gone, close friends or names in books. Every confidant, wise mentor, ancient thinker you study becomes part of your mental network. A dangerous intellect never walks alone. It's nurtured through idea exchange, deep debates, and moments forced to rethink what you held true. The more you connect with brilliant minds, the wider your influence and understanding grow. A truly intelligent person isn't an omniscient lone wolf, but one who taps the right resources, people, and questions. They don't aim to be the smartest in the room. They seek rooms with smarter people. Each conversation with someone sharper is a step toward wisdom. Don't fear appearing lesser, asking questions, or saying, "I don't know." That's the mark of a mind growing rightly. Today, technology lets you connect with millions of wisdom sources at a click. Lectures from top professors, books by great thinkers, global discussions on any topic. But don't let information consumption scatter you. It's not about how much you ingest, but how you weave it into your own thinking. Train yourself to create synthesis, where knowledge from diverse sources collides, blends, and forms your unique intellectual signature. Picture your brain as a hub. Each book you read, deep conversation you have, or intelligent dialogue you hear creates a thread linking you to another wisdom hub. More threads mean a broader, sturdier network. In moments of exhaustion, doubt, or disorientation, this mental network lifts you, reminds you, inspires you, and sometimes offers answers you couldn't find alone. Marcus never claimed to know all. In Meditations, he credits Rusticus for teaching discipline, Maximus for patience and foresight, Epictetus for inner freedom. Even an emperor needed mentors, proving none of us are exempt from learning from others. Your mental network doesn't need to start with the world's elite. Begin with deep, growth-driven people around you. Join a book club, a thought forum, a research community. Find an intellectual ally, a friend to share reflections, debate views, challenge beliefs. A single great conversation can rival a book's chapter. Make your environment a crucible for thought, sparking learning, reflection, and growth. Focus on connection depth. Your network doesn't need vast numbers but profound quality. 5 transformative influences can reshape how you think and live. Ask, does this person expand or limit my mind? Does this dialogue elevate my intellect or trap me in old patterns? If surrounded by shallow, negative, or stagnant minds, boldly refresh your network. Sometimes leaving is growth. If a person, book, or advice ever reshaped your worldview, share it in the comments. Your insight might be a vital link in another's mental network. If this shows you intelligence thrives in connection, not independence, like the video. Subscribe to keep building your wisdom network with upcoming ideas. Together we'll grow deeper, wiser, more dangerous, intellectually. Number 7, control the frame, shape perception. In a world where everyone shouts for attention, the truly intelligent don't need to speak louder, they just need to speak within the right frame. This means mastering the frame of perception, the lens that shapes how others view issues, judge people, and react to situations. Marcus Aurelius knew events are neutral. It's the frame we place them in that breeds pain or power. When you control the frame, you not only steer how others perceive you, but also how you perceive life itself. Imagine a simple scenario. You lose your job. Frame it as, I'm a failure, everything's collapsing, and you'll react with fear, shame, paralysis. Frame it as, this is my chance to pursue what I truly want, and your response shifts, creative, resilient, inspired. Same event, different frames, different lives. The intelligent don't let others impose frames on them. They craft their own. They're architects of perception. In conversations, frame masters lead the narrative, not follow it. They don't argue to win, but to redefine the issue. When criticized, they don't counter in the attacked frame, but shift to feedback for growth. When facing failure, they don't see an end, but a pause in a success story still being written. Power lies not in how much you know, but in how much reality you reshape by reframing your mind. Marcus wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment." This isn't just philosophy, it's profound psychology. Most pain comes not from events, but from the stories we tell ourselves about them. Frame masters control their inner narrative. They don't live in reaction, they live in choice. In communication, this power amplifies. Those who grasp framing lead negotiations, shape how others perceive value, situations, relationships. They know redefining context trumps arguing points. Instead of saying you're wrong, they pose questions that make others question their own frame. Instead of I'm right, they guide others into a new mental space where old truths no longer fit. This is the art of deep influence. Change the frame, not just the words. Today's world is ruled by frame masters, media, advertising, politics. Whoever sets the frame sways emotions, opinions, behaviors of the masses. You don't need to be a politician or CEO to wield this power. In daily life, start by checking the frames you use. When someone hurts you, ask, what frame am I applying here? When you fear the future, ask, can I shift this perspective? Each reframing unlocks a stronger version of yourself. Framing isn't emotional, it's trained thinking. Step back from reflexive thoughts to see what meaning you're assigning. Ordinary people act on instinct. Dangerous minds pause, observe, restructure. They turn failure into strategy, rejection into opportunity, suffering into fuel. This isn't blind optimism, but deliberate mental strength. To be truly intelligent, don't just gather facts, learn to redefine reality. Each day, pick a troubling situation and reframe it. Shift from I was humiliated to I'm being tempered for calm. From nobody cares about me to I'm learning to love myself without external validation. From I'm not good enough to this is where my growth begins. You'll be stunned how, without changing the world, you feel vastly stronger. Practice this through journaling, like Marcus. Write what upsets you, then rewrite it in new frames. Instead of, my boss criticized me today, I feel useless. Try, I got candid feedback today. It's a chance to improve. This isn't sugarcoating, it's reclaiming control. You can't choose circumstances, but you can choose the frame to understand them. That choice shapes your life. If this deepens your view of life, share your thoughts in the comments. Tell us a situation where you shifted your frame and how it changed the outcome. Like the video to spread its reach. Subscribe to miss no content on mastering reality and reshaping your inner world. When you control the frame, life stops pushing you. You build your own. Number 8, stay dangerous, stay curious, keep evolving. The truly dangerous aren't the physically imposing, skilled fighters or outwardly powerful. They're those who never stop learning, questioning, or believing they've learned enough. Marcus Aurelius, an emperor yet a student of philosophy, A leader humble enough to learn from his own mistakes embodied this. In a turbulent world, curiosity is intellect's sharpest weapon. It doesn't just help you adapt to change, it drives relentless evolution, surpassing yesterday's self. When you stop, when you cease asking why, when you believe you're smart enough, your mind begins to wither. Curiosity isn't childlike, it's vital for adults. Only through curiosity do you stay open to new knowledge, perspectives, and untapped potential within. Curious minds refuse to live as repetitive copies. They're tireless explorers, advancing toward the unknown. Marcus didn't just echo old philosophies, he applied curiosity to his actions, emotions, and life's workings. In meditations, he questioned, where does this come from? Does it control me or I it? Is there another way to see this? What's the lesson here? Curiosity isn't theoretical. It's the bedrock of living wisdom. Asking what's next? Where am I wrong? What don't I know? Sets you on a path of ceaseless growth. Curiosity extends beyond books to people. Truly intelligent minds are curious about others' behaviors, not to judge, but to understand. Instead of "they're awful," they ask, what shaped this action? Instead of "I'm right," they ask, what am I missing? Instead of "I know," they ask, what angle haven't I considered? This curiosity broadens empathy, enriches experience, and shatters limiting biases. It makes you dangerous. You see deeper, wield more perspectives, and evade illusion's grip. Curious people dare to fail. They know progress lies in the unknown, where failure lurks. But they don't fear it. They see it as proof of advancement. Marcus didn't hide self-doubt. He probed his instincts, dissected anger, unraveled pride, not from weakness, but from strength to keep evolving. Evolution isn't from perfection, but from daily surpassing old limits, however small. Those who think "I know enough" trap themselves in a mental box. Evolving minds break that box daily with "what's next?" They don't wait for motivation or inspiration, just a reason to learn more. Every skill, experience, failure is a piece of their dangerousness, not against others, but against their own stagnation. They compete only with yesterday's self. A 1% gain in depth, courage, or insight is victory. Curiosity unlocks uncharted creativity. Breakthroughs don't come from repetition, but from venturing where none have. You don't need genius to innovate, just the question, what if? And the grit to pursue it. Evolving minds learn from the right, the wrong, the successful, the pained, even the seemingly irrelevant. Curiosity turns life into a curriculum for growth. Imagine spending just 30 minutes daily learning something new, a skill, an idea, a contrary view. In a year, you're transformed. Your brain expands like a network. Your thinking sharpens like a honed blade. That's evolution's power. You don't need free time, just an insatiable drive to know more. Sustained curiosity makes you dangerous, not through aggression, but because nothing can halt your advance. If this video stirs something in you, pause. Comment below one thing you're curious about but haven't dared explore. A field you thought wasn't for you, a change you've delayed, a question you've dodged. Write it. Commit to taking one step toward it tomorrow. Like the video to spread this mindset to those asleep in comfort zones. Subscribe to miss no content sharpening your evolving self. You weren't born to stall, you were born to keep evolving. Number 9, fortify the body, strengthen mind and body. A powerful mind needs a robust body to withstand life's trials. Marcus Aurelius knew this. His writings don't just preach right thinking, but discipline of the body. He rose early, exercised, kept clean, and ate moderately. He saw the body not as a passive servant of the mind, but as a vital ally determining how much you can endure, act, and sustain wisdom. A sharp mind crumbles fast in a frail, lazy, or uncontrolled body. You may harbor grand ideas, lofty goals, and fierce ambitions, but if you can't master sleep, maintain a healthy diet, or walk daily without exhaustion, they remain fantasies. To be dangerous like Marcus, knowledge isn't enough. You need the physical foundation to execute what you learn. Life doesn't reward mere intelligence, but persistent action over time, and your body underpins that action. A weak body breeds excuses. It makes you justify procrastination when tired, delay tasks when uncomfortable, or snap when hormones swing. This drags your mind down, not from stupidity or laziness, but from lacking the physical strength to sustain a mental warrior's intensity. You want to read daily but are too drained from poor sleep. You aim to meditate at dawn but can't rise. You plan to learn a skill but feel perpetually sluggish. That's why you must forge your body before claiming superior intellect. Marcus didn't demand we become athletes or gladiators, but he insisted on bodily discipline as inseparable from mental life. Start simple. Walk 20 minutes each morning, practice deep breathing, drink enough water, eat brain-nourishing foods, and limit stimulants that lure your mind into fleeting illusions. Make your body a fortress, not just against illness, but against weakness of will. A healthy body stabilizes your spirit. Trivial irritations lose their sting. Stresses that once sparked anxiety are absorbed by a recharged nervous system. You'll communicate, face challenges, and decide with greater confidence. No longer crumbling under external pressures, your body becomes the bedrock supporting your growing intellectual structure. Every mental battle has a physical counterpart. High performers, relentless learners, and constant creators all treat their bodies seriously. They don't let erratic blood sugar, sedentary habits, or shallow sleep choke their minds. They know noble actions stem from a sound physical base. To master life, master your body first. Ask yourself, is my body stronger today than yesterday? If not, why? What did I eat? How long did I sleep? How did I move? Answer honestly as Marcus did daily. Don't embellish progress, face reality to improve it. You don't need to overhaul everything today. Just act. One push-up, one healthy meal, one timely bedtime, and persist daily. As your body transforms, so does your worldview. You'll shift from impulsive reactions to grounded actions. Boredom, lethargy, or low energy won't rule you. Instead, you'll feel mastery and freedom. You'll stop dreaming of a better future and start living each day as if building it with your hands and feet. Your body is the fortress for your mind. Don't let it teeter on shaky ground. Make it a solid foundation for your dreams, goals, and vital plans to flourish. If this resonates, share this video with someone needing a nudge to reclaim their physical journey. Comment below the first small action you'll take today to rebuild your body's foundation. Like if you believe a strong body uplifts a strong mind, subscribe to keep forging a complete self, mind and might together. Number 10, master yourself. Become unshakable. Greatness lies not in controlling others, but in controlling yourself. This is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy and a truth Marcus Aurelius emphasized throughout meditations. You may rule the external world briefly, but without mastery over your inner self, all crumbles. Self-mastery isn't just discipline. It's a profound art requiring deep self-understanding, fearless confrontation of your mind's shadows, and the courage to transcend your own limits. Picture the world as a relentless storm, tossing everything you build. Bad news, betrayal, failure, loss, judgment, pressure, temptation, they crash like waves. Without the steadfastness of a mountain, you'll be swept away. But with true self-mastery, you stand firm as the world quakes. You don't lash out in anger, panic and uncertainty, or lose yourself in fleeting glory or applause. You're simply unshakable, like Marcus, like the Stoic warriors of millennia past. Self-mastery begins with understanding. Know who you are, what drives your emotions, how you react under stress, and which mental weaknesses you overlook. This is unbiased self-observation, like a sage watching your mind from afar. When angry, you notice it. When craving validation, you see it. When envious, afraid, or helpless, you don't flee, you face it. From this awareness, you gain the power to choose, repeat old patterns, or rise to a higher response. Next comes behavioral discipline. It's withholding harsh words in anger, resisting rash acts when provoked, refusing to succumb to lethargy or doubt. Self-mastery doesn't erase emotions. You may feel them deeply, but you don't let them steer you astray. You can grieve without complaining, fear yet still act, feel lonely without destructive habits. It's constant awareness. You know what you're doing, why, and whether it aligns with your values. Marcus wrote, "A man who has mastered himself will never be a slave to circumstances." This simple truth holds immense power. Let circumstances define you, and you'll always be unsteady. Define yourself, and external chaos becomes a test to strengthen your inner resolve. This isn't achieved overnight, but through countless choices. Patience over defiance, calm over display, integrity over compromise. A potent way to build self-mastery is through daily habits. Do you wake on time? Honor your commitments to yourself? Keep your word? Eat moderately, exercise, maintain an orderly space? These small acts test your will. Each victory fortifies your core. Each slip offers a lesson to adjust. Persistence, not perfection, is key. In an age urging quick reactions, slowing down to observe your inner world is revolutionary. Don't be a puppet of emotions, social media, or others' gazes. Be your own master. Ask, what drives my actions, awareness or old habits, proactivity or passivity, ego or wisdom? The more you master yourself, the freer you become. You're unbound by the need for approval, unharmed by criticism, unswayed by fleeting illusions. You're untouchable, not from coldness, but from harmony with yourself. From this, true influence flows. You don't need to shout for attention. Your steady, alert, unhurried presence commands it. To be dangerously wise like Marcus, start here. Self-mastery underpins all knowledge, strategy, achievement. Without control over yourself, you control nothing else. You'll be a victim of circumstances, emotions, your petty ego, but conquer yourself and nothing can stop you. If this resonates, don't just listen, act. Write one thing you'll do today to train self-mastery, however small. Comment it below to commit and share with our community. Like if you believe self-mastery is the path to true freedom. Subscribe for more videos to become your unshakable self. You've journeyed not just through knowledge, but toward awakening yourself. Each segment of this video isn't mere ideas. They're foundation stones for an unassailable fortress in your mind. This inner citadel, impervious to intrusion, is where you master emotions, reason, and destiny. You've learned to train your mind like a warrior, listen like a sage, and read with a thirst for truth. You've grasped the power of words, the value of connecting with great minds, and the art of framing life's perspective. You've embraced relentless curiosity, constant evolution, and the necessity of a strong body to anchor a sharp mind. Finally, you've reached the pinnacle, mastering yourself, becoming unshakable. But don't let this journey end here. Bring it into your daily life. Become dangerous in the noblest sense. A person who influences, inspires, and shapes a better world through a powerful, authentic presence. If this resonated, share the video with someone who needs it. Like, comment your thoughts below, and subscribe to join future journeys of enlightenment. It's time to step into the world, not just intelligent, but dangerously wise. Marcus would be proud.